Hello again, hello again. Well, it's finally getting in the promised blog, though I think there was really only one person actually waiting for it, but, gotta start somewhere, I guess. Um, well, one of the reasons why it's kind of been taking me a while to post one of these is just because, I keep recording stuff and then not liking what I do and then delete it, but then also it's just kind of like, okay, hey, I'm going to do one, and then I don't actually think about what I'm actually going to talk about, and then it just kind of starts going, and that's why you should delete them. So I actually worked on a list of things that I want to talk about, and one of the things I wanted to talk about today was something that kind of a few people have been wondering about, and so I kind of wanted to explain because it's something important to me. As some of you guys may have noticed, I collect the pop tabs from like pop cans, beer cans, things like that. And there's a reason for this. I've explained it to a few of you guys, but this is just something that I guess I wanted to get out there for everyone else to know, just because, I don't know, it's important to me. The reason I do it is actually kind of to remember someone. There's a good friend of mine, his name is Will Rice. He died, almost 2 years ago now, and he was a good friend of mine. I only knew him for a year, but in that time we became pretty good friends, and he was one of those really good, solid, dependable people. Like, he called, he texted, we spent a good time together. Like, we clearly had some differences. He's very much a country boy, and I'm not. But he was one of those really good guys where it's like he was everyone's friend, and he defended his own, and he loved his family, he loved his friends, he took care of people. He served, he's a Marine, and I was very proud of the fact that he served, and I know he wanted to be in longer, but I believe it was due to a really bad back injury that he ended up not being able to do it anymore. He died, like I said, a little over 2 years ago. He was driving a friend home now, if I get the details on this story wrong, I'm sorry, and I'm also paraphrasing a little bit, but that's just kind of how it goes. He ended up, he's one of those guys that took care of people regardless, and it's like he'd always drink a bunch of root beer, and whenever we go out instead of beer. Normally, why? Because he was going to make certain he got his girlfriend and fiance at the time, Katie, home safe, and he would also take care of other friends as well. He was the guy that would help the bouncers break up fights, kind of thing, or kind of prevent them from even happening, which I always thought was really cool the way he would handle that. But he was driving a friend home who was just a little too tipsy to drive himself home, I believe, or didn't have a ride or something like that, and I forgot how early it was in the morning, but basically they got hit head-on by a drunk driver, and he died instantly. It was rough the way I found out, because I was actually, I texted him maybe like a week or two earlier, and I had been really busy, but we'd been meaning to make plans, and it didn't happen. And then that happened, and I found out, like, I was just reading all this stuff on Facebook, and it's like, oh, rest in peace, RIP, RIP this, RIP that, and I'm like, what the hell are these people talking about? And I still remember calling his phone, and leaving him a voicemail saying, dude, I don't know what's going on, I don't know if you're going to get this, but, is like something happened? Is there a joke? Is what, why are these people writing all this stuff on your Facebook wall? And I think with that, it was just like, I could put two and two together. It really wasn't that tough, but I think I just didn't want to face it. But then I called Katie, and when she answered crying, it was pretty apparent what had happened. He touched a lot of lives. He really did. Just the attendance at his funeral alone, and that's probably only even a fraction of what he's done, or what he did. But along with that, it was kind of, I don't know if I worded that right. So, the whole point is I collect the tabs, kind of remember them because he taught me, and this is something that, I guess anyone could really do. He taught me that like the tabs from the pop, they actually, or beer cans, whatever, if you take like a decent amount of them to like a scrapyard, they treat it as pure aluminum. So if you have like a decent amount, like what he suggested was a milk jug, size worth, like a milk jug full of those things, and you take it to the scrapyard, they treat it as pure aluminum, whatever, and varying on aluminum prices, you can get anywhere from like, he told me at one point in time he got like, once he got like 500 for it, and then another he got like, it was like 800 or 900 for it, like aluminum was really high. And that was something he was always doing too, like there was always, I always remember whenever I'd go over to his house, there was a milk jug on top of the fridge, always half full, or at least last time I remember seeing it was half full of tabs. And as I just kind of showed you guys here, this is what I keep mine in, and I'm 2 years later, I'm finally starting to make some progress. I don't drink a whole lot of pop really at all. This is some of my friends and family members. They've been really, really nice, and actually been saving them for me so I can put them in here. And it's just kind of like one of my ways I remember them, kind of honor them, I guess. I don't know if that's honoring or not, but it's something, I guess, like I do just for me, because I don't know, he was a really good friend, and I don't know, it's like, I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but that's a picture of him and Katie and the puppy. And the reason I show that picture is like, that's what he looked like when I knew him. Like, that's how he was, that's who he was, and I just felt it was like a really good picture. I have the three of them with him, like also a good one of him, because that's just, I don't know, it's kind of who he was. He was always just someone that kind of, I don't know, he was protecting, he was caring, but he was also funny as hell, too. He'd pull a lot of jokes and stuff like that, and we game a lot, and we goof off a lot. That was really fun, too. Yeah, so that's one of the things I do. So it's like that's, whenever I'm, like literally whenever I hang out with people and there's like tabs, I'm the guy who's always like wiggling on and popping off and just like sticking in my pocket. Or it's like, oh, wait, no, don't throw it in the trash. Why? And get the tab first. And I'm like, why? And it's like, oh, okay. And I'll just take the tab, and that's the reason why I do it. And like honestly, I mean, when I do actually finally get the milk jug filled, I'm just gonna, I don't know, I don't care how much money I get for it, because I'm just gonna keep doing it. Just like every September 17th, I drink as many different kinds of root beer as I can. I play a particular video game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, because it was a game that he and I started. Never got a chance to finish. And I listen to country music all day long. So this one just seemed like, with Memorial Day being so close, having just happened or whatever, seemed like the thing to talk about. But yeah, that's, for those of you who are wondering, that's why I do it. It's just a way to remember a friend, and I don't know, eventually maybe make some spare change, but I really don't care, because it was a cool thing, kind of a cool little tidbit fact. He had a lot of those, and that was just one of those that I remember him telling me about, so that's why I do it. So, alright, as for anything else, I'm hoping to get more vlogs out here, trying to do them regularly, like weekly. My goal is every Friday, but we'll see. I at least have a list of things to talk about now. So, yeah, hope everyone has a great weekend. And, hey, you know what? Screw it. I'll just say it anyways. If anyone wants to save the tabs and send them to me, if anyone wants to save them and then, like, the next time I see you, hand me, like, a baggie of them or something like that, or just, I don't know. If you think about it, that would be great. If not, yeah, whatever. I'm going to keep going. So, all right.